Okay, so agenda for today's class is to discuss multi-threading. No, just kidding. So resumes, right? So we will discuss in two parts. One is we will address how to build our resume, and second is, if time permits, we will also discuss how to face interviews as some points to take home and to keep note of when you are attending interviews and group discussions. Let's see how much we can finish. Let's begin with my thoughts on how to build a resume, or importantly, how not to build a resume. Okay, so we'll focus on the not, so that what is left is the right stuff. All right, so before we begin, the first thing to understand is if you are building a resume, what is the reason for building the resume, right? I know everybody knows what a resume is, and you have already built it and you are an expert at it, and many of the things I say you might already know. Hopefully one or two pointers, if it is new, it is going to be good enough for the purpose of having this discussion. Okay, now, but let's try to see from the foundation, because my way of working and my thinking is that if you want to do anything, you got to start from scratch. So you got to really analyze the roots itself for you to see whether you are on the right path. So the first question to ask is, what is the purpose of resume? What is a resume? For who is it aimed at? And then we will come to what should it contain. So what is a resume, guys? What is a resume first? Sorry? I mean, I know you know. So let's think whatever we, let's say whatever we know. Your resume is a French word for I love you. What is a resume? It contains educational details. Okay. What is a resume though? I know what it contains. What is a resume? Details of? Details of you?
Yeah.
What details of you do you have?
Educational,
Okay. So basically it is details of you, but not all the details, right? We don't contain just height to, yeah, angula, and weight to. I mean, those are also details of us, but we don't mention that. So it contains specific details for hiring or companies. Okay. What is the difference between? I will not ask you what is CV. I know you know what CV is. Curriculum vitae, which many of us have, right? Yes, with spelling mistake. Curriculum, double R, single R. No, just kidding. So what is a CV?
It's a detailed description of professional and educational items.
Uh-huh.
Resume is a brief description.
Okay, does everybody know about it? What is curriculum vitae, by the way?
Course of life entire life.
Very good. Course of life. It means course of my life, right? That's what it means. So course of my life is, can it be a short one-page thing? If you want to tell entire history about yourself, what you have done, when you have done, what you like, what you dislike, can't be simple as one line, right? It cannot be abridged. It cannot be a single page document. Which is why what you should do is, you should not use CV in your resume. A resume is a small document, a short document, which contains the very importantly factual information about your credibility with respect to achievements and with respect to your education, right? So whatever you have done from a factual basis, we stick to facts in a resume, right? And that is one of the documents that is used to verify whether you are well suited to even come and attend a screening process. And that's why we have to build a resume, as simple as that. Why do you want to build a resume? So what should you build amongst resume and CV? You should not build your CV. I mean, not that you should not build your CV. If you build your CV, you should build it in a way that the CV should be built. Don't build a CV in the way resume is built. Okay? Most of us get confused. Simply anyway we copy paste. So if somebody from where we copied from was using CV, we also use CV, right? Don't do that. So we need to build a resume right now, because it contains factual information about your education and the technical prowess that you have. But the question is, why should you have it? Why is it required? To advertise yourself. Very good. So you want to tell more information about yourself, because as we discussed, the resume is built for a reason. You will be able to relate to it when you say who. For who is the resume built to? You build a resume for what? The one who wants to hire us. Who wants to hire you? But who is the one then? So that the question, no, it has to be specific. Who are you building the resume for? Because depending on who you are aiming the resume for, you will have to put in the contents that make sense to that particular person, right? So who is the viewer of your resume? Who will use your resume? Huh? Interviewer. But interviewer comes later. Who is the first guy who is going to be looking at your resume? A HR. And there are two people who will look at your resume, right? One is the HR and the other is the technical interviewer, right? Could be a manager, could be a whoever it is. It doesn't matter. Who the guy who wants to hire you into his team or whatever it is. But the important thing is this. Based on who is going to look at your resume, you now need to come up with content that makes sense to them. Correct? No? HR is not a technical guy is not a HR. What a HR looks into a resume for is different. What a technical interviewer looks in a resume is different. And you got to cater both of them. Does it make sense or not? You got to cater both of them. Which means you have to understand by wearing the caps of a HR person, whether a resume that we build, is it appropriate for them or not. Then remove the cap, wear a cap of your technical guy and see whether your resume is applicable for a technical guy. Only if you satisfy both the criteria is your resume worthy of being sent to companies. You understand that? So the aim is to satisfy both a HR and a technical interviewer. And why is it that a resume is important is because, very important, because if your resume is not proper, maybe you have all the credentials, maybe you have good percentage, academics, everything is correct. But maybe what might happen is if your resume is not properly made, you might not even get called for a screening test. If you don't get called for a screening test, will you get the job? No. So here is the thing. In life, now as Steve Jobs says, you can only connect the dots by looking backwards. Meaning going forward, can you say what action that you take today is going to yield tomorrow? Can you say studying 4 hours of Java today, how positively it will impact your life 1 month down the line, 2 months down the line, 1 year down the line? Can you say that? If you could make that out, like today you spend 4 hours on this, then immediately you have a very bright future. Then if you spend 4 hours on something else, immediately you have some other bright future. Or if you don't do something, immediately you see a future. Then wouldn't it be very easy for us to take a decision what we should do now? Problem is, we don't see that future. Correct? If we did see it, it was very easy for us to take the decision. But when will you get to know whether an action that you did take had an impact or not is when you look backwards. Correct? No? When you look backwards, you can easily connect the dots. So you can see, oh, I went to, like yesterday I was talking to one of our older students. She and her friend went to, there was a call and a call for her friend in a company. And the friend pestered her to take her there. You understand? So the friend was the person who got the call from a company. The friend said, it's very boring to go alone. You also please come with me. So they both went to the company. Big deal. Our friends, Aramam, talking, let's go. They went. And the other friend, simply instead of sitting, she took the test. Why to simply keep quiet? She was not interested in the job. All right. What happened was that person got the job, this person did not. Can you imagine that? 2 years have happened now. She is a 2-year experienced person. She had come yesterday to meet me. The entire course of her 2 years is decided based on only one thing. When her friend called her up, Bhartine Hogana, if she had said no, what would have happened? No, that 2 years experience. Maybe she would have had some other experience. Maybe she would have gotten a job elsewhere. But this course of life would not have happened. Correct, no? How such small things make such a big impact on life, right? Now she wants to leave job, she has 2-3 jobs, she wants to get back into Java development, that's all different. But the point is this, every small thing in life can have a profound impact on your future. Every small thing. Problem is we don't get to know that. We never get to see that, no? There is a very famous movie which has been made in English, Tamil, from copy from English into Malayalam and Tamil and all that. To give you a very quick overview, there is a husband and wife and they're like any husband and wife. You can imagine. He's gone. So one scene is where the wife gives a teacup to husband to drink tea, right? In that scene, what happens is he takes the cup, and you know how men are. They are all, very clumsy, right? He's reading some newspaper, and he takes it. He drops the cup. It breaks into many pieces, and the tea is all over the floor. And obviously, who has to clean it is the poor wife. But the tension is so much between them that she starts howling, right? What is this? You are a useless fellow. You can't even see. You don't have brains or what? Blah 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 blah. Everything, right? Using all the pet names that wives gives to husbands. So then the husband also gets mad. He's like, he has pokru. He's like, a man, I have more ego than you. He's like, blah 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 blah. And then what happens is, she immediately, bangs the door, throws something else. He breaks something else also, right? He bangs the door, hurriedly walks out of the door. Okay, that's one scene. The same situation is shown now, where she hands out the teacup to him. Same man, same woman. Except while he tries to drop it, he catches it. And he does not drop. What is the difference? In one situation, he dropped the cup. Another, he did not. This is all. You should see the entire movie goes in parallel now. Once they show this scene, once they show this scene. What happened here? What happened here? What happened here? What happened here? This fellow goes out of the road in such a mad hurry. One lorry comes and hits him. Damar. Leg broken. Wife left him. Kids somewhere else. Right? And he becomes miserable, very affluent guy, very comfortable living guy, with a good salary, loses job, debt, drunkard. This side, same guy, continues for another 20 years with the same woman, has kids go into good colleges. Now the aim is this. Story is funny and okay, you can laugh at it, but the point is this: real life is like this only. Every small incident can create a huge future for you, huge life for you. Problem is, we can't live multiple futures, right? Which means, what do we do now? If everything matters so much, what do we do? Because we don't even know what if we do, what matters and what does not, right? There is only one thing you can do. The one thing is that giving your best to whatever you do at the moment. Because the only thing that is there in your hand is what you can do in a given moment, is it not? You don't know how it's going to impact you. You don't know what kind of a future it holds for you. But one thing is for sure, it is in you to do what your best ability has. And as long as you do that in every single moment, for every single thing, then most likely what's going to happen is, everything is going to connect together. Tomorrow when you look back, you say, you know what, I went here and this is what happened. I went with my friend, somebody called, and I take a Java course, and ultimately I got the job because I had a good resume. I got called, I wrote, and then I got called for the interview, and then I took 3 rounds. I got the offer, I got placed. I went to America, and 6 months I lived there. It was fantastic, and I got introduced to Mr. John, and Mr. John happened to be my colleague in that American company, and maybe you end up marrying that person and you have American kids. It's quite possible, right? All for what? All depends on what? Whether your resume got selected for you writing a test. No writing test, no American kids. Possibility. So you have to appreciate the fact that each moment, the choices that we make have a profound impact on ourselves. So do not make choices without you being the owner of it, without you being in a place where you understand, okay, this might be the ramification of my choice. This is how it might impact me. You need to think and then act. When it comes to resume, then what should we do? Very simple. When it comes to real life as well, the simple principle to follow is pay attention to details. That's it. This is all I will be talking about now. You have to pay attention to details because that's the only thing we can do. We cannot decide whether our resume should be selected. We don't have any control of that. That is completely outside of our control. But what is in our control is ensuring that the resume that we build portrays accurate information based on which we will not get rejected, at least for the lack of doing things. Maybe if our qualification does not fit in, they wanted 80%, you have 70%, okay, big deal. It was not in your control. But if everything is right, then at least you should get called. And I assure you, if you don't build your resume properly, there are certain companies who will not call you. Not the big ones, not the bigger Janta companies. Today the problem is what? There are too many people seeking jobs, too less companies, and the companies who are taking and also take like hundreds together. So nobody has the time and patience to really look at a resume in depth. But those days are changing. Today the resume makes a lot of difference. Even on the company which is coming on Thursday, they have specifically looked at the resume and they have said these people we don't want. How is it possible? They have not even seen the person, but yet they know that they don't want, and they did not decide based on percentage. They did not base the decision based on percentage, which means what? If you pay attention to detail and build your resume properly, such things are avoided. Is that making sense? So we are going to pay attention to details. So now we know that a resume is what we want to build, not our course of life. A resume is an abridged version of our achievements and trainings we have had. So who is it aimed for is HR and tech interviewer, which means we need to wear their caps and see our resume whether it fits into what they require. And what and all is it going to contain is obviously factual information. 99% of the resume should contain factual information, right? Not what we think. What you think is different. You might think you are very good or you are very bad or you are this or that. That is something we can't directly put in because a resume represents factual information. And why is it very important? We know to have multinational kids, right? That's how important it is. So that's the basis on which we are going to go ahead now. Okay, paying attention to detail. The first thing is you are going to create a resume in two formats. You have a hard copy and you have a soft copy, right? Hard copy we don't even need to bother too much about because hardly anybody uses hard copy anymore. You might use it just to take it with you when you go for an interview, just so that the interviewer, by mistake, he has not been given your resume, you can hand him out one. Correct, no? Otherwise, who reads hard copy? It's all in the soft copy, which means soft copy means you are going to use a file. And what does file have? Just like please come. Just like a variable, every file has name and file type. Correct, no? The question will be now, what should be the name, what should be the type? Now remember, paying attention to details mean you question every single thing in your resume. Why is this there? Why have I done like that? What impact might it have? That is the only way to be sure that you have proper content in your resume, right? You have to be very careful. So the name, give me names of your resumes. Huh? Candidate underscore resume, that's how you have named your resume. Okay, good. What have you named your resume?
Name and profile.
Name and
My name is Swati Vishnath profile.
yeah, Swati Vishnath profile. Very good. Okay. Something else? Only name, right? Only name. Vikram Shastri. .doc. Okay. That's another way of naming. Then? That's all, everybody has named like this? I have seen your resumes and I am coming. I know some people have named resume.doc. I know some people have named my resume bracket5.doc. I will tell you beautiful resume. I had to send it to a interview. I told one person of another batch, please send me your resume. She gave me this. H.doc. Another person I asked, X. Daku illa, textu illa, yenu illa. I'm not at all kidding. You think if I send this to the HR, X, they will select that person to even get a screening call, to give a test also? How you be the HR and you play the role. If somebody comes and tells you, H.doc togoli, nan resume idu, please call me, get me job in your company. Will you give? Anybody? You'll say, Ogalle. If you can't build your name, your resume properly, nan resume badappa, nin resume, if you can't name it properly, what will you do in life? Don't we ask these questions? Right? This is how, like Dadagiri we do to kids, no? Right? Ni nin nodko, ni nin nidko. Same thing should be followed by us. And this is equally bad. My resume bracket5.doc. That means 5 times you have changed your resume in the same folder. Correct, no? You cannot afford to name your resumes like this. Okay? Remember, who is the first person who is going to open your resume and look at it? It is the HR, right? And remember, HRs always have too many resumes on hand. Correct, no? They have a job where they have to shortlist people amongst the hundreds of resumes they get for to be called by a screening test. And your motivation is what? Your interest is what? They should select your resume. There shouldn't be a case where your resume is not selected. If it is for some percentage, that's okay. That's beyond your control. But for other reasons, it should never be such that based on his name or the contents of the resume, you don't get called. Right? That's going to be too impacting. Which is why you got to name your resume correctly. And I would recommend, as suggested, you can have your name. So Vikram Shastri. Use camel case, it looks better, right? Don't use underscore. Certainly don't use space. Please don't use space. My space resume, whatever is your name, right? Amitabh space Bachchan, right? Don't use space. Second, remember, because it is the HR that is using who has very less time, ideally as much of information as possible that the HR needs, if you can give it at one go, then it makes HR's life easier. If you make HR's life easier, the chances of you getting selected is more. And how can you make HR's life easier? What does the HR looking for in your resume? Do they care about your technical skills? They care about your qualification. More or less, every HR is going to be given a kind of a constraint by the team or by the manager who wants to hire. Who says, you know what, get me 60% CS people. Yes? Because HRs don't understand technology. Which is why what you should do is, you should ideally specify your branch, and if you are SCJP certified, mention that. Your name of your resume should be a brief profile about you, brief gist about you. The name itself should tell everything. Why should they open the resume? You can say so in the file name itself. So Vikram underscore Shastri, Vikram Shastri underscore CS, whatever it is, underscore BA, MCA, etc. If your percentage is good, mention it. If your percentage is bad, don't mention it. It is important to put the highlight on things that are good in your profile, right? So if you are SCJP trained, mention that. If you are not SCJP trained, put Java trained. Not only HR will be told 60% CS, they'll say Java gottiroru karkambani. Java is not understandable by HR, but they know they have to search for keyword HR. First only you tell, oh, CS 90% Java. Karko. They don't even need to open the file. Do you understand? But at the same time, don't make it super long. I have seen that example also. By mistake I told this. Electrical engineering with double spelling mistake there. Okay, don't do that, right? So don't need to mention very big. It should be small, no spaces. Choose underscore. Underscore serves better. It works on all OSs. You don't know what OS HR is opening your resume in, right? Sometimes spaces clash. So always make sure that you have this. And underscore Java trained or whatever it is, not too big, and that's good enough. That should be your name, I would suggest. You can, if your name is short, you can say, instead of saying Vikram Shastri and all that, whatever, resume, you can actually say resume underscore CS underscore 80. That's enough. Something like that. Underscore Java. That's more than enough, right? It gives a gist of who you are. Or you can say resume underscore name. I mean, what name you use is up to you, okay? You come up with it. But important thing is this information should be there so that the HR life is easier. Because remember, you are gonna mail resumes, right? You mail or upload resumes. They will download the resumes. They will have some 1,000 resumes in one folder. When 1,000 resumes are there, you know how many resumes will be resumes.doc? There will be some 50 resume.doc. You think HR will have the patience of clicking everything, finding out yaru, and then call you? They don't. First of all, they are bad at their job. No HR, no here. No, I said this, in another batch where 5-year experience HR lady is there. She's like, not all HR are bad. I said, yes, except you. So the thing is this. Now, definitely not all HR are bad, but the thing is they want, just like anybody, they want to finish their work quickly. They don't care about you, much less your resume. If you come personally only, they don't care about you. In some stupid file, they don't care a hoot. So make sure your resume name counts. Second, type of your file type. What should be the file type? You can have doc, you can have PDF, you can have docx, you can have text, you can have RTF. Which one should it be? Yeah. So PDF is? That's good. So I would definitely recommend doc and PDF. Doc and PDF. The reason is simple. Most people have Windows Word, but they might not have the latest version of Word. We have had situations where HR from big MNC companies have replied to us saying they don't understand this extension. I am telling you. A HR mailed me back 5 resumes because it was in docx format. Problem is HR is not tech savvy. Google Documents will open every format, more or less, right? But they don't even know that. And they don't care. They don't even care. At least this HR came back to me. So what I did was I had to take the resume, convert it into .doc and then send it back to them. And then said, oh, career, kalsi. Do you understand? This is how life is. So don't make, already we are against so many things. Less jobs, less this, less that. Don't add one more extra negative thing to your, your side. So make sure create a doc and definitely create a PDF. I would suggest send both, right? Because then what will happen is, the advantage of PDF is, one, it looks nicer. It looks nicer. It prints better, right? And it occupies a bigger screen area where the entire content is shown. Whereas Word, half the screen is there, stupid menu, right? And below also some half menu. In between, what they can see is hardly enough, right? And very importantly, sometimes HR copy paste things from your resume. When they copy their email or phone number, by mistake they might press something where it will get deleted. And some HRs don't know Control Z. I am not at all kidding. I've had all kinds of experiences, right? So they don't know. And what do? Oh, your phone number, what talpa? Yen call madadiga. Innand resume, my resume, .doc kodra. Do you understand? So in a PDF, the advantage is it's read only, right? It's all big and nice, easy to copy and all that. So docx is fine if you have it. It's not a big deal. But I definitely have had this situation, which means it would have happened many times to everybody, right? So try to have it in doc and PDF for now. Maybe on a year or two later you can have this. Text and RTF you will do it only if asked, right? Only if they ask you, please submit in this form. Then is when you will use it in text format. Otherwise you want. Okay, so that's about the file name and this one, right? Let's go into the contents now. Here is the thing. The grossly put, I can put you guys in 2 categories: computer science people and non-computer science people. Meaning computer science means information technology, all those, right? MCA, MSc and all that. So computer science guys, non-computer science guys. So you got to be careful how you build the resume, right? You might be really good in your academics, in your subjects, in non-computer science. Problem is that doesn't matter. If you are applying to a computer science job, it matters to prove that you have done well. Your percentage matters to get called. But what really matters for you to get the job is your knowledge of computers, is your knowledge of programming. Yes or no? Which means what you should do is you should try not to focus too much on your non-computer science academics or non-computer science projects in your profile. The more you stress on non-computer things, the more it appears as if you are better suited for a non-computer science job. Is it not? We have had multiple occasions where I sent a very good guy, electrical engineer. He's really good. I sent him. The first question they asked him is, your electrical engineering skills look so good. Why are you coming to software? I think you should go to another company. You go to electrical, no? Papa, this guy wants a job. This guy has spent money. He has learned Java. 6 months he has worked. He has bust his ass. He has learned everything. And now the interviewer is saying, why you want computer science job? You want to give one tight slap to the person. Magne question cared. Right? But the problem is, you can only word that out in your mind, right? It becomes very difficult. So, your resume should be as per the domain to which you are applying. You cannot have one resume, by the way. You cannot have one resume. Your resume should change depending on where you are applying to, what kind of a company you are applying to. One resume doesn't fit all because each company looks for different things. You understand? You need to do a little background research. I'll come back to this when I talk to you about the interviews and what needs to be done. But you need to do a little bit of research on some companies, and as you move ahead in life and gain more experience and so on, this becomes even more important. You got to project what the company needs of you. You cannot simply put facts about you because people might not care. Is that clear? So we'll discuss how to put contents inside. All right, let's look at the contents inside the resume now. So what is the first thing that we have? So let's say this is the structure, the boundary of your resume, and usually the first thing, what do you have? Career objective, first thing only. First thing means first thing. Name, are you sure? Really? We should open some things. Huh? No, I have seen most of you guys have put either resume or curriculum vitae. Right? If you are not put it, fantastic. Please don't put this. You are reminding HR. Correct ರೀ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ನೀವು ಓಪನ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ರೆಸ್ಯೂಮೇನೆ ಬೇರೆ ಕಾಮಿಕ್ ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ವೇ ಅಲ್ಲ ಯು ಆರ್ ರಿಮೈಂಡಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ useless piece of information. Question everything. All right, that's one. Second, one is this is useless, but what is even more important is what space is this using. The moment the HR double clicks, what do the HR see is the top part. That is like your front page of your newspaper. Isn't that what you see first? Do you see middle paper first? They see the front page first. That is the best area to advertise about yourself. Most important information about you should be here. If you say full ಕೆಳಗಡೆ 3 ಸಲ ಸ್ಕ್ರೋಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ರಿ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ದಿ ಪರ್ಸೆಂಟೇಜ್ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. Nobody has patience. So the most important part of you should be there here, because that is the header space. That is what people look at first. Is that clear? So you cannot have resume, obviously. You have to strike this off, right? You have to replace it. As rightly said, many of you have names. I've seen that. Have a name. Have your name, because your name matters. Your name should stick, right? They should remember your name. So whatever is your name, put it down, right? And make it bold, right? But again, have the proper, this one, the content, the text. What kind of font size can you use for your resume? 14? 14 maybe 11 or 13 would be good according to me. We'll discuss why. So in proportion to that, see how much size this should be, okay? And don't make it too big and too odd and to this one as well. All right. What do you have on your right side, left side? What do you have on your right side? Email ID? All right. Email ID. Then phone number. Then address. Yes? Yes or no? This address is for who? This address, which usually occupies 3 lines. Do you live in very short addresses? Our address is this long, right? All Bengaluru address are all super long. Who is this address for? You want to invite HR? Or do you think HR will come to you one day to your house, ting tong? Oh, Amitabh Bachchan, correct re? Correct. ನೀವು ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ? They have to verify address. Or do you want to say, ನಾನು ನೀನು same address, same area, please call me. What is the point of putting an address which occupies 3 sentences, 3 lines in a place which is very important? Don't put your address there. Strike it off. Ashtond interest you have to put address means put in down. That is the most insignificant thing of your entire resume. Is your address. Who cares here where you live? Nobody cares. Put it below. Email and phone number very important, which is why it should be there. Mail, email, make email an clickable link. Most HRs use Outlook. On click, it should automatically open Outlook for them and send a mail. Your mail should be copy pasted. Don't make them copy paste, because sometimes they copy with the colon also. They don't see they're doing things very fast, right? They are likely to err. When they copy, they'll copy your colon and copy paste. They want to call you. They send the mail also. Mail doesn't come to you. You think, ನನ್ನ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ರಿಗೆಲ್ಲ ಬಂತು, ನಂಗೆ ಬರಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕಾಲ್. For all you know, you were the only person who would have got the job. Do you understand? So even a colon can impact your life. I'm not kidding. Pay attention to details. Make it a clickable link. Okay? That's one. The name of your email, please don't use names, any kind of a name. Okay? Ideally, I would suggest use Gmail. Second is, have your name in your email. Right? Because I have seen all kinds of, java_bond@gmail.com. I'm not kidding. I've seen this. Very intelligent _Java train. Right? I know we don't get, our names are taken in all the email addresses and all. Please don't use adjectives to, uplift your own image. That's the only thing it does, it negates it. Do you understand? You cannot have that. Have your name 77, 89, 99, whatever nonsense you want number, that's okay. Don't use adjectives. Very important for your email. Plus, don't give 2-3 emailers. If you give 2, comma, this comma, that comma, this comma, yavu.co.in, yavu.in, that comma, this co.in. Burde beja fry. In HR, HR has to think, 1 second. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಮೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿ, ಮುರುಕು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾ? And some people don't even give comma, they give space. Now she or he has to put comma there. You understand how much of effort you are giving the HR? Give one email. Email that you check on a daily basis. Phone number should be only one, it should be mobile. Please do not give 2, 3, that's one. Second, don't give landline. Please give mobile, okay? Put a +91 because you don't know who is going to look at your resume. You might float it around in the net and some American company might pick up the thing. They might want to call you. So please put +91, it's important, okay? Then what do you put on the left side? Remember, this is the most important place. This header area is the most important place. What do you put there? Huh? Whatever you put here should be important and should highlight things about you, okay? I would not suggest to put qualification. You can do it. I would not suggest to put it because this reminds me of houses in Bangalore and Mysore have this weird fact or characteristic about them. People who build their houses outside, they'll say Vikram Shastri MBBS bracket. Have you not seen? LLB bracket, EBD bracket, right? Or things like BE bracket engineer. Have you not seen this? So this looks the funniest. As I'm walking in the road, this is all I see. Yaar yen bardiyare manali. Mane name will be so nice. The house name will be so nice. Whatever it is. They have beautiful names, right? I keep looking at the names of houses. And bracket Vishwanath, bracket doctor. Who is that person trying to broadcast this information to? For the cows and dogs on the road. Nanu doctor. Marthoyta nimge, Nanu doctor. This is a way of self, ego boosting, I think. I think it's really stupid. Personal opinion. Right? Don't put your education here. In a way, it reminds me of that. See, whatever I'm telling you today now is 100% my opinion. Okay? You can change anything you want. No need to take what I say. Okay? What works for you, you take it. Something that doesn't work, don't take it. I will come back to this. Okay? But right now I will say, which I hope all of you will, please take up SCJP. SCJP, once you clear, you will get a logo. Put that logo there. When you take a certification, they give you a logo. Put that logo there. The moment they open their resume, they know SCJP trained, OCJP trained, OCJP certified. Okay? That looks very appealing. So put that because that's a sacred space. I'll come back to that. What do you have next? Huh? Objective. Most of them call it objective. If you call it career objective, that's good. Now, what is your objective? No, I'll take that back. Do you have an objective? Huh? All our objectives are what? Make money, work less, get married, live, enjoy happily ever after. We have different objective. Will you put that? So what is the objective you eventually, you inadvertently put? I'll tell you what I put. I don't remember obviously. My friend copied the resume from his friend. I copied from him. The only thing I changed is the name. Because school same, college same, engineering same, subject same, percentage also almost same only. Yak change madbeku? I told my friend, hey, madalo. I took it, changed Vikram Shastri, applied everywhere. Please don't be as dumb as I was. You got to make your resume count. Objectives, most of us copy paste. If you have not copy pasted, it is good. I'll come back to it. But most copy paste objectives suck. Because they say things like, I want to work in your esteemed organization where I want to give my best and take the best of the organization going forward to have a better career and impacting the future of the company have you not seen such objectives? 90% of the objectives are like this. They are copy paste and they run into 3-4 sentences with 100% grammar mistakes and some spelling mistakes also. Now remember, if you are putting your objective in your resume, what you should know is that I know of a company where the CEO, the first question he asks any person who comes in to the interview is, what is your objective? Not what you think, what you have put. Do you think you can repeat your objective? At least I could not, because mine was copy paste, right? So if yours is copy paste, please remove it. Okay? Having no objective is 1000 times better than having a copy paste objective with spelling mistake and grammar mistakes. Because that's the worst way it looks. Remember, your resume is an advertisement about you. Your resume is looked at before you. They don't even see you when they look at your resume, right? And then you should make an impression, no? You should make them feel that, oh, this person is good. You think if there is spelling mistake, grammar mistakes, nobody will like you? Will anybody feel that? So, idiot doesn't even know how his objective is. And also, to complicate the fact, the sentences are so big that even if you read 10 times, you don't understand what it means. I was looking at some of the objectives of all our resumes. It's crazy, mind-boggling. I did not have time to copy paste and show you. Mind-boggling, really, I'm telling you. Right? It's like a chess pro question or something. Right? You know, people will always get it wrong, I'm pretty sure. So please remove that. If you want to have an objective, have a clear-cut, precise objective. You cannot beat around the bush. Alright? You have to have a clear-cut objective. You can simply say simple things. You know, there is a latest fad in the market. If you use lot of jargons and use lot of words, high bombastic words, then that is a good objective. No, it's not. Something that is understandable is a good objective. Right? You can simply say, objective is to enter Java development field as a junior trainee or as a software developer, or aim to be a good object-oriented developer. Something simple which everybody can understand, right? If you want, you put it. If you don't, please remove. I would strongly recommend removing it. Because what is the point of this? This does not add value to anybody. Neither HR looks at it, neither technical guy looks at it. If technical guy looks at it, it is problem for you. They will ask, why is this objective? You said, I want to work in Java field. First question says, .NET akkada bedwa. Remember, the questions that you are going to get in an interview is going to be based on your resume. Your interview should pan out as a drama. What do dramas have? Script, which is earlier written. Correct, no? This is your script. You want to rock in your interview, you need to work on your resume. Because the questions they ask in your interview are only dependent on what you put in your resume. At least the initial questions. Yes or no? So you cannot afford to put anything where you will be quizzed on which you don't know about your own self. So I would strongly recommend remove objective, put a more important thing which none of you have, a summary. Please put a summary about yourself. What HR wants and what even the technical guy wants at the highest level to understand, do you fit the basic requirements that they are looking at? The summary should contain either 2 or 3 bullets. No need to write paragraph here. No need to write sentences. Right? I am a 10th standard, 7th standard, BE passed out, right, with certification, and I have done this. No harikate. Short bullet points. Say Java trained, BCS 70%, and completed one project in J2EE. Have very good hands-on on core Java, or have good knowledge on O design or O programming. Just 2 or 3 points. That's it. The highlight of you. What makes you, or what is the best of you, which is what needs to be looked at by the HR or the technical guy, is what you put in the summary. Is that clear? You can have 2 points which is factual and 1 point which is not. 2 points which is factual means your experience. If you have experience, have 2-year experience in this and this, whatever technologies, or your be this with this percentage. Next point, Java train. Because remember, here is where you can make an impact. If you are a non-CS person, you have to say you are trained in some technology. If you are BE electrical, BE mechanical, BE civil, BE electronics, why should a computer science company care about you? Just because you are electronics, who cares? They only care about programming. You should mention that you have been trained here. Very, very important. Is that clear? So mention them as bullet points, and mention Java train, mention your BE aggregate if it is good, and mention one highlight point about you, what you are good at. Okay? Once you do the project, specify. Did a MVC based project, did this design project. The moment they look at, oh, parallel, this guy has done project and he knows what it is. Immediate positive impression. Remember, who is going to interview you? Who is going to interview you are human beings. They are not computers, right? And you know one funny thing about human beings? Any impression we have about anything, Anything. We watch a movie or we see the trailer of a movie, let's say. If you like the trailer, when you go watch the movie, you know what in our mind we are trying to do? We are trying to prove to ourselves that whatever trailer we liked is also a good movie. If you don't like the trailer and you go to the movie, let's say, the entire movie, what are you trying to prove? That movie is bad. This is the way human mind works. Anything you like, you want to prove that it is good for the world. Right? That's how human minds work. If based on your resume, HR is not going to be impressed because HR does not even spend time on your resume. But if at all a technical guy sees your resume and you impress him, I tell you, 50% of the battle is won. Because in the interview, what is he going to prove to himself? That you are the right candidate. I am not kidding. Because human beings interview you, use this as a leverage. All you have to do is put in enough things here which will prove a point that there are two things about you. One, you are different from others. Because problem is what? As you are entering in the fresher role, everybody has same profile na? Everybody is trained in something. Everybody has some good certificate. Everybody is coming from some college. How to differentiate? You have to differentiate. Because the moment everything looks the same, people can't understand who are you, who is this person. Both have same thing. BE, ECCS, what's the big deal? No difference. Which is why your resume should make you different, stand apart from others. Even a single thought that you can impact the person who is reading it, you have 1 point. And that's all he will try to prove to himself when he calls you for the interview. Is that clear? Very important. So mention summary. Definitely mention your project. Please don't put dictionary project here. Okay? That's only for your testing. Okay? We are going to do a bigger project which you should do. Then you put that. That will really catch the eyes of a technical guy. HR people don't understand. But when a technical guy looks at it, we will understand. If you say implemented social networking project using this design pattern. That's it. Nobody knows all these things. Experienced people don't know it. And if you mention it, you would have caught the eye of the technical guy. And they are already impressed. Is that clear? So mention your summary, more important than your objective. If you are mentioning objective, make it very precise, single sentence which you remember and is true. Your resume should contain truth about you. Don't make the mistake as all we did. Next, what should be the next thing? Huh? Qualification details. Education details or qualification. See, I am not bothering too much about a format, gilmat and all that you mention. You are better at it. Okay, colors, gillers, whatever you want to mention, bold, gilt, do it. Okay, but the aim is this. The aim of your resume should be that it should not be too big. You cannot at a fresher level. How do you have 10-page resumes here? What we have done in life? Even project also copy paste. Correct? No. So ideally, the way you can stand apart from others is reduce your resume. See, it is always easy to write chapters, very difficult to make it small. If you have a small resume, you know what it speaks? It speaks that you have taken time to reduce the unwanted stuff. There is a very famous saying in architecture. That is, what should be the design, the architecture of a house or a building is. That's what should be the design of a software as well. Is you have a building entirely full of bricks or whatever it is, right? One brick if you remove, entire house should collapse. That's so stupid, right? But that's the way the design should be. Why? Because what is there are only important things, no unimportant things. Anything you remove affects the entire thing. Your resume should be like that. Every word is there because it should be there. If you remove it, the resume breaks. That is how succinct your resume should be. With this aim, fix your resume. Because then why it matters is because it shows. Anybody you give the resume to, they immediately know you have taken time and attention to build it. They know that you are not simply copy pasted it. And that helps in creating a positive impression. So work on your resume, it's not a 5-minute thing. Education details. Okay, this is the easiest. Please mention it in a table. Some people don't mention in tables. Please put it in a table. Table is easier to comprehend. Right? It's easy to consume the data in. Mention it in a table. Don't mention it as sentences. Okay? Whatever I am saying, is it making sense? Okay, if you have doubts or if you think I am going off the line, please let me know. Alright? Now, ideally, what are the things you should have? What should you have? Qualification, college, then year, and aggregate. CGPA or whatever you have. Correct, no? That's it. Those are the important things. But what is important is it should be in reverse chronological order. You can't start from 10th standard first. That's very bad. It has to be always B or MCA, whatever is your latest degree. Is that clear? Latest degree, college, year, and this. College, some college names are super long. Small, I mean, use an acronym or whatever, make it small. Is that clear? Your aggregate is important, mention it, and that will help you in getting called. If it is bad also, you have to mention it. You can't help it. You have to specify what is your percentage. If you think if you don't mention percentage, then you might get a call. You are wrong. They will not even call you. You understand? Maybe they are looking at 50% and above. You have 51%, but you think 51% is too small, but you don't mention that 51%, they will not call you. They would have called you otherwise. Mention your aggregate. It's okay. What you mention, if your last 4 semester, all your B people have a lot of problems. And last 4 semester better percentage, that comes in marks card. When your top 8 semester doesn't come in marks card, some nonsense. Whatever is better you put. That's all. Don't think too much. You have to get called here. First get called. Afterwards you will think about proving how much you have got. Okay? But at the same time don't put false. Okay? Put last 4 semesters or total 8 semesters. But please don't mention semester 1 80%, semester 2 82%. Like that 8 semesters. Your entire resume one education details page. Please don't do that. It is unimportant. Nobody cares. They only care about the high level. Is that clear? Why is it important? Always ask everything that you are putting in the resume. Why is it important? Why? Why is this important to put 3? Why not only 1? Tell me. Why not put only B? 10th we finished so many years ago, no? Why to put 10th? Overall, they might consider, but that's not the point. What is the point? Consistency. It is consistency. It shows. See, life gives us many second chances, right? Whether we have taken it or not, it shows. Many of us might have very bad percentage in 10th because we are all pundu pokaris, or we studied in some weird small village where nobody was interested in learning. But in 12th, maybe we got a better chance. In BE, definitely we would have got a better chance. If you can show your percentage is going up from 10th to 12th to BE, that speaks a lot about you. And I'm going up does not mean 90. It could be 50, 60 and 65. Good enough. It's amazing about you. But usually people are down. I don't know. 95, 10th, 85, 12, PO, 65, BE. That also speaks a lot about you. So that is why they want to know. That is why they want all the 3 things. And if you have all same, that also speaks a lot about you. So the entire resume is to know more about you without even talking to you before. Alright, that's education details. What do you have next? Any questions are there? Let me know. Huh? This fellow has become slow. Okay, what's the next, guys? Huh? Technical skills. Okay, we'll talk about technical skills. Something happened to this guy. Okay, give me a second. Okay, let's continue. We will do something. All right. Okay, technical skills. That's what we are looking at, right? Technical skills. Now, who is technical skills important to? See, summary and educational skills were both educational qualification. Both are important for HR, right? Summary is also important for technical guy. You can score 1 or 2 brownie points from him, right? The technical skills is looked at only by one guy. You're a technical guy, right? Which means it is after you have been called. Hopefully you have got now cleared and you are going to face an interview, which is when they will be looking at this, right? So it is very important you know this, because the technical guy is sound in technology, correct? He knows technology stuff, right? We might be freshers, but he knows his stuff, which means you cannot fool him. And anything that you put here is the only thing that he decides, based on which he's going to call you, and he's going to, what kind of questions he's going to ask you. You can route his questions simply based on what you put here. That's how important technical skills. This one is there. This one is okay. Okay, forget it. Anyway, so technical skills. What do you have first? In technical skills, what do you have first? Trained or not, that comes either earlier or later, not inside of technical skills. Inside of technical skills is a factual data sheet about what you know, correct? It is factual in nature. So what is the first thing you have? Programming languages? Yes or no? I will say the spoken languages first. Programming languages, right? That's one of the heading. Now, here is where we make a mistake. Two mistakes we make. One, everybody seems to know everything. That's one problem. C, C++, Java, ASP.NET, 8085, HTML, XML, JavaScript, PHP, CGI also, Fortran. CS people have a big problem here, because what they think, at least that's what I used to think, is you should put every subject you had there. That is not at all the intention. The intention is what you are good at, not what and all subject you have studied. Problem with CS people is they study Java in college. Java ಆಗೋಯ್ ಚಲೋ 95 ಬಂತು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ಜಾವಾ ಕೋರ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ನೀನು? ನಾನು ಕಾಲೇಜಲ್ಲೇ ಓದ್ದೆ, right? What real Java, nobody knows, right? Work ಹೋದಾಗಲೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದು real Java what it is. So but bottom line is this. The bottom line is you should know that the person who is looking at it knows everything about technology, and second, you cannot bluff him, and third, you should not put things that you are not good at. And importantly, because everybody follows the same thing, everybody does some training, it is very difficult for a technical guy to distinguish you are better or this resume is better. You need to bring in that distinction. How do you think you can do that? How can a HR guy, how can a technical guy find out you are better or somebody else is better? Just by looking at technical skills. It cannot go by the contents, because everybody knows everything. C, Java, everybody will put. Yes? What to do? Because that should be your idea. Certification. If you have certification, you have to put. What if you don't have?
Should be specific.
Should be specific means what? Don't put too many things. Put only the things that you are good at. Put lesser in number. Okay, but still, one person has put Java, another person has put Java. Who is better? Because you have to score a point here. If you can indicate that you are better than another resume, it is likely that they will call you. As simple as that. You are playing with numbers here. Prioritize.
If I'm good at C,
Yeah.
then Java, then C++, then I need to put it in an order.
So you will put it in C, Java and C++. How do I know your priority? I am looking at your resume. How do I know it? I don't know it. So what do we do? Huh? Last used means you will mention time, date. When did I use last? Is that what you are saying? Maybe. See, your project helps. Your project helps, but he is looking at technical section now.
Can't put Java. Java is so huge. We need to
Bottle it down. Be more specific. No, that is correct. That's for sure. We will definitely discuss that. You have to be more specific. You have to prioritize also. But more importantly, how can you tell how good you are is by telling you what you think how good you are to that person. Rate yourself. Nobody does this, and that's good enough reason to get some points. Because nobody puts a rating. See, you are putting your resume, you are saying you know Java. Who knows how much you know Java? Who knows? Hopefully you. Obviously we should know na, how much Java we know. If you can communicate that in your resume to a person who is looking at it, won't that make a lot of sense to the person? Then he will say, oh, not only has he prioritized, not only has he not put unspecific things and he's put specific things, he's also telling me how good he is. Immediate tick point. Is it not? Wouldn't it appeal to you? 100% it would. Which is why rate yourself. Rate yourself in the languages that you mention. So what should be your strategy? Don't mention all the languages. Just because you had C as subject, don't mention. Don't mention it. And if just because you had some Fortran, COBOL, CGI nonsense, don't mention it. CS, IS people, please get rid of 90% of your programming language junk. Please put 1 or 2, that's it. And amongst them, prioritize it. Mention Java first if you are better at it. Mention C plus first if you are better at that. In bracket, give a rating. R colon. Do you understand? R colon or rating colon, mention it. Comma, Java, bracket, mention it. That will speak a lot about you. You have taken pain and attention and you are communicating to a person who is not in front of you how good you are. Very, very important. Is that clear? Now, how does he know what rating means what? You put 9, mostly 9 the best, you might think. So, you have to provide a legend. Out of 10 that is correct. Maybe it is out of 100, maybe it's, who knows? Don't assume. Put a rating legend. In your technical skills, bracket, rating legend. 1 means poor, 10 means very good. Now you mention the rating. And don't put 10 everywhere. That's exactly ulta of what you want to convey. Pompous fellow, bad. You understand? But be true to what you think you are good at. That's it. Put 7, 7.5, 8, okay, no problem. It is also stretching it. It's alright, no problem. This score, this helps a lot. Okay? Mention this for everything. Okay? Programming language, maximum 3. It's very difficult to learn many programming languages. Alright? Don't put too many. Maximum 3. That's it. And whatever you put on, you should be ready to face interview on. Questions on. Is that clear? Next, Java you specify, right? What Java you know? Core Java. Core Java is dependent on JDK version. 1.7 Java is one world of difference between 1.6 Java, which is earlier. So if you don't mention that, maybe one question they'll ask you, tell me difference between 1.7 and 1.6. What do you know? You might not even know that. But Java ಬರ್ತಿದ್ದೀರಾ? Java ಏನು ವರ್ಷನ್ ಈಗ? Next version ಯಾವ್ದು ಬರ್ತಿದೆ? What is going to be released in the next version? These are things you should know as a Java developer, is what they will think. You understand? That's why don't get into such problems. Mention the version. Java means bracket JDK 1.5. That speaks another thing about you. That not only you are saying what you are good at in the order in which you are good at and telling me the priority and telling me the rating about yourself, you are also specifically telling me which version. That speaks about your eye for detail. Specify the version. Then it's easy because they are not going to ask you 1.7 now. And even if you do, you need to know only high level. But 1.5 you should know what you say. Is that clear? So mention that. Good. Next, after programming languages, what do you have? Operating system. Right. Operating system. What is this operating? What is the aim of putting operating system? Which you have used? You think anybody wants to know what OS you have clicked on? Is that adding value to the technical skills section? Then you should put I have used a bike also. Does it make sense? You put Windows 95, Windows Vista, Windows 7. Haven't you used all 3? You mention all that. For what reason? You think you using a US is going to impact your career or the effort that you are going to put in and work? Operating system is a waste. It only matters if you know the internals of operating system. If you have done kernel development, then you mention amazing points for you because nobody knows operating systems well. But if you don't know, don't put. Everybody knows, everybody has computer. It is like saying, I have a mobile phone. Everybody knows that. Everybody has computer, everybody has used computer, everybody has used some OS. Don't mention, simply comma separated OSs. Right? Linux use modini, BSD use modini, idu use modini. No. If you have worked on something, HP UX, Solaris, you did some project on a different OS where you were where you encountered some difficulty or some learning, then mention it. Otherwise, don't mention. Why you want to catch unnecessary attention? One question they might ask is, EOS go, any difference? If you have just used it, will you be able to tell? This ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಕಾಣಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ double click ಮಾಡಿದೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ single click ಮಾಡಿದೆ. I mean, you are unwantedly attracting unwanted attention. Do you understand? Throw OS. Next. What is next? Subjects of interest will come later. So DBMS, databases, right? Again here, please put only things that you are good at, not what you have simply used. You understand? Mention one itself is great. You don't need to go to the second one at all. Okay? Here we'll be doing the Facebook project or whatever on Oracle or MySQL that you will be using. Mention that, that's more than enough. If you play around a little with HSQL DB, I will expose you to, then mention that. You understand? Oracle version. Version is important. Very, very important. Okay? Oracle means what? There are some hazar flavors of Oracle. Right? Okay. So, mention that. Okay? And then, what else? If you want to catch a little more attention, I'm coming back to programming languages. If you are a little on the risky side, you want to be on the risky side, but want to attract good attention towards yourself, in programming languages, mention statically typed programming language, dynamically typed programming language. Two headings. Statically typed, mention C, Java. Dynamically typed, mention JavaScript. I mean, of course, remember you should know it. And you should put the rating. Even if you are not very good, you can put 5 in JavaScript. But what it shows is that you know what a statically typed programming language is, what a dynamically typed programming language is. And most likely, the first question that interviewer will ask of you is, what is the difference between the two? And what is the best thing about it? You know that he is going to ask, which means you can prepare. This is how you route the interview in the way you want. Your interviewer is like wild bull, right, with comb. It wants to go everywhere. It wants to keep on hopping. Their side, this side, project, life, this, that, nonsense. You want to take it in the direction that you want it to go. You understand? All this will help you in getting direction to your questions. So put down. It's all gotchas. Mouse traps. Traps are there, no? These are all traps for interviewer. Statically type. Oh, statically type. Yenappa statically type andre? And you think about it a little bit and then give stylish answer. Wow, man. Amazing. Tikku. Bappa olige. Do you understand? You have to pay attention, as I said. So statically type program, dynamically type. But what is the risk in this? This is a high risk. Because one thing is they will definitely ask you difference. There is no doubts. Anybody who puts this, which is nobody, they will definitely ask you this question. But you need to know the difference. That's one. Second thing, why it is high risk is if you make mistake in putting Java in dynamically type and JavaScript in statically type, gota only. Any positive thing is full neerified. Do you understand? So be careful about it. Okay? And that's one. Second, again, don't put too many programming languages. Okay? You're not expected to know too many. One point I had here. Yeah. HTML and XML are not programming languages. Dayivittu remove it from your programming language. Okay? I see many of you, HTML, XML. They are not programming languages. Alright? They are markup. They are markups. Not at all programming related. So remove that from the programming language section. This shows that you don't know what is a programming language and what is not. And what are you applying to? Software developer. And how much you want? 40,000 rupees salary. Correct, no? I am putting myself in your position. This is how I was. My resume was probably the world's worst resume. Right? Direct copy paste, all unwanted thing, every unwanted thing was there in it. Right? Great fluke of chance that I did get called by any company in the first place. So don't make it like that for yourself. Okay? Pay attention. Alright, so we have seen programming languages, databases, no OS, and then what else? What else would you have? Yeah, you will have assembly language. Don't put it. Okay? Nobody, do you think any assembly language development happens in the world? No. You have a separate resume for applying to electronics based companies. Have a separate resume for applying to programming companies. You are learning Java as application developer. You are not even learning C. At least you would be in system level. Where is system? Where is assembly? Patala. You are at the application level, topmost layer. No use at all. Mention it. I don't say don't mention, but don't comma. Very big, long VHDL, this DL, that DL. First of all, a computer science person doesn't know any full forms. If you show me electronic subject name, I don't understand what is VHDL. I don't know. Gabbirbaku. What do I know? I don't know about it. Don't assume a person who is reading it knows. He knows technology. He need not know about stuff that you have put. And also it is attracting unwanted attention. Because they will ask you that question. They will ask you 8085 ನಲ್ಲಿ program bari. What you will remember? First semester, second semester you would have studied. So that is the problem, right? So ideally I would recommend don't mention anything that attracts attention to non-computer science things. Okay. Having said that, I leave it to you. Maybe one or two you can mention. Okay. What you are strong in. Whatever you're strong in, you mention. Latest assembly thing. Because you know, what is the latest assembly thing language you would have had? VHDL and all that. Okay, good. So it's actually good. It's actually good. You can mention it, no problem. But the problem is anything that we are learning today is, you know, how 25 years old. No, take that back. Sorry, 35 years old. 35-year-old technology we are working on. Electronics, electronics and all. 8085, 8086, which you have 8086 still? You know, it became extinct 40 years ago. Today's technology of today's architecture of processors is so complex and it is so advanced that we cannot study it in one semester. That's why we are sticking to old things. What is the point of mentioning a Tyrannosaurus Rex in our resume? No use. So I would recommend be careful. You know what you are good at. If you are really good at something, mention it. Otherwise, I would strongly recommend take it off. Okay, what's next? In computer science, what is next? Technical skills. What else? Yeah, so that's what I just said. The point is, if you are good at it, you mention it. If you are good at it, you mention it. Tools used, mention. Okay, I'll come to that. Now you need web. What will you put in web is your HTML, your XML. Put it in web. Okay, and in case you don't have a dynamically typed thing, put JavaScript in web. Okay, and what else? If you are not comfortable, definitely don't. Please don't put it. Okay, you have to be comfortable. That is prima factor. That is the more important thing. Servers. Mention servers. Very important. What server have you used? Tomcat, 7.x, 6.x. Mention that. And mention it and know that you will be asked a question on it. And you can easily prepare now. You know what question you will be asked. There are some 20 questions that you should be sure that you will be asked. A few of them for sure. Those 20 you prepare the best way. Is that clear? Mention web servers. And again, it gets you points. Web server, app server. If you have worked on app server. If not, web server. Don't put again too many servers. Yeah, that is in tools. It will come there. So this is web. We are at web. Then what do you have? I'm missing something. What are we missing? SQL. Yeah, in database. No, actually it is different. There are two different things. Do you know it conceptually? Do you know it from a software point of view? SQL is a concept, right? It's a standard. It is not specific to Oracle or MySQL. All the different databases implement SQL standard, right? And so that's the thing. Just give me a second. Okay, so yeah. Okay, tools. You mentioned tools, all right. You mentioned IDE. Mention IDE. Don't mention tools. First mention IDE. IDE is Eclipse. Again, Eclipse means Helios or whatever is the version that you are using. Mention the version. Okay, that's important. Then in tools you can put other things. Whatever tools you would have used, if you would have used. After the final project, you would have a lot of additions. Okay, you would have used Log4j. You would have used so many things. Mention that. Okay, otherwise. mention whatever tools you have in whatever tools you know you can put in electronics, which should be fairly software related. All right, that's about it. And then I'm missing something, I don't know what. It'll come to me. Okay, so this is your technical skill section. If you know design patterns, mention it, and you should. We are gonna go through some 7 or 8 design patterns. Mention that, makes a lot of difference. Nobody knows design patterns, right? And if you can say you know it, you know what question they will ask you. They will ask you that only. Tell me singleton. Tell me this design pattern. What is design pattern? So easy to prepare for questions that you know you will be asked. Mention that.
When mentioning design, you just need to know the theory of it.
You need to know not only the theory, you need to know where to apply it as well.
You should have worked on it.
No, not necessary. Build a small example is enough. Where you would have used, you don't put design patterns which we use. All the things we are going to discuss here we are going to use it. Singleton is going to be used. Your decorator is used in I/O. These two is more than enough, right? Factory we are going to be using. We are going to be using everything. So mention that, very important. Because understanding design pattern is difficult. At the fresher level, if you understand, if you can explain and say where it is used, you're way above other people. Is that clear? Okay, next. After technical skills, what do you have? Huh? Soft skills like?
Like teamwork,
Oh, you mean what do you call it? More about myself types, traits about myself. Okay, we'll come to that. Before that, what is very important is, please mention this, the training that you have had. All right. If you are doing Java training here and if you have not mentioned it, you are losing points. All right. Please mention pursuing training in Uttara Java J2E training. Please mention it. All right. Why it matters, I will tell you. Not because we are extraordinary, but just because from 20 years you have been doing training. And we know at least 10 people who are CEOs of companies today who are ex-Uttara people. Not this branch. My branch, I know 3 people who started companies. All right. This we started only 7 years ago. But our Uttara has been existing from 25 years. We have been doing training C, C++ for long. There are at least 25,000 people in Bangalore who have done it. And they're all heavyweights. They're all in very, very big companies. And they all prefer if you come from the same institute. It's like natural, right? You prefer people from your own state, own language, own community, right? It's become like that. So please mention. And if you are pursuing training, please mention that. It's very important. Many people I saw, you're not mentioned anything. Please mention it. It's very important. Okay. That is one. If you have taken some other training, please mention that. Something that should be related. That's all. Okay. Next comes your what else? Extracurriculars, traits about me. Okay. Extracurriculars and achievement. Right. That's one thing that you have. Or you can have it as 2 separate headings. It doesn't matter. This is very important, by the way. Your extracurricular and achievement is very important. Here is where you can make a difference about you than the others. See, it's all, hiring has become like a kurigalus or kurigalu. Everybody is on kuri, that's all. Bigger kuri, smaller kuri, that's it. More percentage kuri, less percentage kuri. But ultimately kuri ne. You want to differentiate yourself. You want to say I'm a horse or something else, right? Where you can differentiate about yourself is your learning, you can't differentiate much. Right? So it has to be in your achievements and training and whatever extracurricular. Now, in achievements, what you put also matters, but don't put things like yeah. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, good. All right. So where are we now? We are in extracurricular. Extracurricular or achievements, right? So in achievements, it's very important. Mention the achievements that you have had, if you have. Like if you are like me, I have 0 achievement. Extreme achiever I am. Sonne, right? So if you have some achievements, have it. Like for example, you are represented in some competition, in some sport or some arts, dancing, singing. Please mention all that. Very important. But it should be specific. You can't say took part in running race. No use. Right? You have to be more specific. It's okay, not at all bad. But took part in running a bracket. If you are not got prize also, it's okay. Only one person gets prize. No, everybody can't be that one person, right? So in bracket, received top 10% prize or was in top 10%. Finished 5 kilometers in 44 minutes. Mention specific. The whole point of an achievement is it should be a statistic about you. It should not be some adjective. You understand? It should be a statistic. So mention exactly why, what. Anything is fine. Driving, cycling, swimming, singing, anything. As long as you have some statistic with it. That's it. And if you don't have any statistic, put some top 30% or some nonsense. It's all right. At least it shows something. We would have done something. But again, don't put very old things. One first prize in lemon race. Teaspoon lemon race. Right? First standard. No, it doesn't work. It has to be something recent. Alright, that's one. Second, please mention things like where you took part in other activities. Like you conducted a debate or you participated in some blood donation camp. You conducted some drive. You invited some companies. I mean, I don't know. If you, whatever you have done like that, please mention. If you have not done anything, very simple, do it and then mention. Do something. Just go, Red Cross, this cross, something will, some or the other thing will be happening in the city every single day. Just participate and then mention it. In 2011, December, participated in Red Cross polio fertilization drive or some nonsense. Whatever, go there, stand one day, you help some people, enough, mention it. Because you need to be more than what you have studied. A person is not just your studies. Your study is just one factor about you. You can't make it to your whole life. The problem in India is we don't do anything else. Correct? That's because the way we are brought up. The only thing we do is eat and sleep, watch movies, and study just to pass. Correct? Most of us at least. We don't have any vision. We don't feel that we should do other things. Nobody told me do something. Right? Happily I was like gundadi gunda as they call it in Kannada. Right? I only played, never studied, did nothing. Don't be like that. Start inculcating habits. Now I want to do so many things, I don't have time. So inculcate practices. Become a part of a cycle team or a rowing team. Bangalore has these things today. Earlier it was not even there. Shooting team. There is a bow and arrow team. There is a running team. Free, they simply run one day. Meet everywhere, run. Bitti biscuit, bitti coffee. Go. Marathon. Take part in marathon. Marathon you take part. I took part last year. Right? Almost my leg broke only. Somehow I finished. Right? So take part in it. Mention it. It really speaks a lot. And bigger companies pay a lot of attention to this. Equally smaller companies, product companies, they pay a lot of attention to how you can differentiate yourself from the team, from the rest. Okay? Mention that. Extracurricular, that's what. Here is where you mention what drives you took and what conducted, what did you conduct, blah, blah, blah. Achievements should be more meritorious, more statistics based, right? Got first rank in this or second position in this and things like that. Okay, then traits. So, traits about myself or whatever it is. Now you got to go a little easy on this because if you see most of the things so far has been factual, right? Everything is fact. You studied JDK, you put that there. You studied engineering, you put that there, right? You got some prize, you put it in achievements. Extracurricular, slightly bordering. It's your thinking, what you are good at. This is totally your thinking. Correct? Now traits about myself. You say, very hard worker. Who is telling? Navene. So it is perfectly fine. No problem. Mention it. You say hard working ability. Whatever is true you put here. Don't put too many things. By mistake I told put this and one person came with 25 points. I am not at all joking. 25 points. You say, ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ತೆಗಿಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತೇ ಆಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲದೂ ನಿಜ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. Really, don't do that. Okay, remove all the things. 3 points, that's it. Just 3 points. Top 3 points about you. What you think you are good at. Are you good at problem solving? Put it. If you are good at hard working, put that. If you think you can absorb new content, new kind of things very quickly, put that. Adaptable to change, put that. But here is the thing. Anything you put here, you must be able to substantiate. Ideally, this should tie in to your achievement and your extracurricular. If you say hard worker, yen hard worker. How? Why do you say you are hard worker? What did you accomplish? 3 months I did entire Java. I worked daily 6 hours. Achievement. Hard working ability. Do you understand? you have to tie it up with something you have done. You cannot say something about yourself without tying it with a fact. Ideally put it here only. If you say simple hardworking, everybody says hardworking. Yeah? We are all hardworking. We did. How much? What is the difference? Where did you go the extra mile? Hardworking means what? Not working. Problem in life is working is hardworking today. Right? No. Where did you go that extra mile, extra distance? That is what you need to specify. You understand? Some project you have to finish. You have to submit. You have to deliver quickly. 3 days. All your colleagues were sick. Teammates were sick. You said, 3 days I did not sleep. I worked non-stop. And we finished it and we gave it and we got the score. Hard working ability. You understand? So, and whatever you put here, they'll ask you questions. Problem solving means, what problem solving are you good at? You need to know. You can't simply put that. You have to know what you are good at. So that you can say, get questions on that and then solve it and then move forward to the next level. Is that clear? But a max of 3 points. That's it. Nothing else. Okay. Next, what else? Projects? Yes or no? Projects. Very important. Now, here this is even most important for non-CS people. The only place where you can make an impact, that you, even being from a non-computer science background, you know programming and you have some track record, is by a software project. If you put a electronics or civil electrical project here, forget it. Why should any company hire you? If you are saying your project that you have done, see, project represents a lot, because this is where you do stuff, right? You don't only listen stuff, you have done something. So please put what you have done. Of course, whatever is your B project you have to put. 2 things to notice. One is reverse chronological order. Latest project first. And the latest project has to be software oriented if you are applying to software company. You cannot have a non-software project here at all. It speaks negatively of you. If you have not done something, do it. Do a very small thing and put it. Doesn't matter. Is that clear? Put it. Next, how do you put it if it's software oriented? Many people have done a lot of mistakes. So I would strongly recommend putting some kind of a header to a project. Okay, so header body like this, so that you can now repeat this same thing, okay, for each project. By the way, number of projects don't impact. I was talking to somebody, I'm sending them for interview tomorrow. Sir, only 4 projects, okay na? One day project, okay. Why 4? What projects influences is, basically it shows what difficulty you might have faced, based on which what learning you would have had. That's all it indicates. You don't need to have several projects. 1 is more than enough. 2 is fantastic. Okay, so to put 2 projects, 1 year B project, whatever you have done, put it at the last. Okay, and put your latest project first. So put a title, then put a time frame. I don't see time frames anywhere. Put team size. How many people? This is very important, because knowing the time frame and the team size will tell the technical guy. Remember, only technical guy is going to look at it. He knows everything about software. It will tell him he understands what could be the complexity of this project, which will help him to ask questions to you. Then what do you have here? Description of the project. Now this is where all of you have gone wrong. You have only description, most of which is wrong grammar, wrong voice. Some is in active voice, some is in passive voice. Lot of mistakes in grammar and spellings. You cannot afford that. It has to be apt, and it is long sentences. And nobody has put what you have done. Project of world project. Neven madri. The only thing that is important is what you have done. What is the project? Who cares? Yeah, nobody cares. What you have done. That is the only thing they care. Put a description which is just 2 sentences. That's it. Which should give an indication of the domain of the project. That's all. Web application project built for the banking domain. More than enough. Anybody who reads this understands what you would have done. Don't put some 25 lines, some people. And nobody has the patience to read it as well. But what you should spend a lot of time on thinking how to put correctly is your role. This is what is important. What did you do? And what should you put here? Don't put janta stuff. I did implementation, or I did design, I did testing. What is that here? Everybody does all the same things. But what did you do? Implementation means specify. Here you should specify. Did this module, especially if your team size is 2 or 3, you should indicate what did you do of the project. Did this module used this implementation or used this framework? Very importantly mention design patterns used. Mention it here. Amazing points for yourself. Okay? Or whatever was the best practice used. Used MVC. Anyway, we are going to be doing MVC project soon. Used MVC with front controller, with your DTO, DAO, design pattern, and coupled it with struts too. Finish, matter close. Anybody who sees it knows what you are talking about, and they know you have done it. So please put your role, focus on this, and think about it and mention. Okay? Then what do you have in project? One thing you don't have.
Location.
Location is not too important. You can put it. Location is important if you have done it in a company. It's so important. You can put, if you have done a project for Google, internship in Google, Microsoft, any of those companies, IBM, it matters. It says something because they would have had some kind of scrutiny before they chose you. Right? So mention that. Okay, role is important. Now none of you have mentioned this. This is very important. Environment. If you are doing a software, it has to run in some environment. That environment you should specify. You should specify which version of a server, Tomcat 6, Eclipse IDE this, Log4j version this, JDK version this, Servlet API version this, your whatever version, struts version this, everything version you have to mention specifics, because that is what was used to develop this. You understand? Very important. What would work wonders is if you give a URL. If you have built a web application, you host it somewhere, give URL, then nobody does this. You can assure yourself of a job. If you simply put a URL, you can find my project here. Finish. He will click on that and your project will come out. Before even seeing you, he already knows what you have done, played around with it, and now all he has to do is see you face to face so that he can call you on board. Develop a web app, host it. If you don't find hosting space, come and tell me. Before interview, I'll host it for you. Give a URL. I'm not kidding. If you can go, usually they ask about your project in any interview. Say, sir, I will explain about my project. I will tell you URL. You only see. Full bold other project madadaldane host bare ಮಾಡಿ URL bare telling. Immediately impressed. You understand? This is how you can create a positive impression. So mention that. If you have it, mention it. If you don't have a URL, host it. You get free of charge, free hosting for 1 day, 1 hour, 5 hours. Just before interview, host it and go. Big deal. But remember, you should do this. If you want a job without doing a project, you are unnecessarily wanting things without justifying your requirement, your ability. You understand? See, we are in for hard times. It's hard time. There are not too many jobs. In the world, India is better. India actually has jobs. World, there are no jobs. And going forward, we will be in hard times. All of us will be in hard times. Everybody will have some or the other issue. So the thing is this, the only way to ensure that you are recession proof, no kind of recession impacts you, is honing your ability. You have to become strong. If you become strong, it doesn't matter whether there are 10,000 jobs or there is only one job, because you will get that one job. And that's all that matters. Improve your ability. How can you improve your ability? The good thing is, this is the only thing that's in our hand, not in somebody else's. Getting an offer is in somebody else's hand. Getting you a call to call you to some interview is somebody else's hand. But getting the job, 100% in your hand. The only thing that is there in your hand is this. You want a job by doing the only thing that is not there in your hand, by not doing that. You cannot be like that. You cannot get a job by attending a course. Let me tell you this, very honest. You can get a job though by doing a project without attending the course also. You don't need to attend any course. You have to just do a project. Just do the project. So if you have come here, if you are spending so much time, please work, because the only person it will impact is you. You are all very smart people. You don't even realize that. You don't even realize what power and potential you have. And you look down on yourself. You feel bad. And you don't work. You don't put effort. You compare. And you simply start wishing, job sick. ಜಾಬ್ ಒಂದು ಕೊಡಿಸ್ಬಿಡಿ ಸರ್, ಹಿಂಗಾರು ಮಾಡಿ ತಿಪ್ಪರಾಗ ಹೊಡ್ರಿ, ನೀವೇ ಕೆಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ನಂಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡ್ತಾ ಇರಿ ಸಾಕು. ಕಮಾನ್ ಯಾರ್, this is asking for like a baby. We are all babies. I am not putting you in any wrong light, but we are like this. Usually the things we want, we simply want it. Please prove to yourself that you are worthy of it. Then things will come behind you. Jobs will come behind you. Salary will come behind you. ಬೇಡ ನನಗೆ 50,000 ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಬರಲ್ಲ ರೀ. 10,000 ಕೊಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಬರ್ತೀನಿ. So you should be able to say what you want. I say you should be in control. When can you do that? Is only one, working on your ability, not elsewhere. Doing a good project, that is it. Do a good project, go to knock on doors of companies, because then you will have power. You say, hey, ಕೊಡ್ತೀಯಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಬೇಡ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಬಿಟ್ಕ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗ್ತೀನಿ. You have complete confidence. Now it is not like that, right? Just to get a call you have to try so hard. Somehow you squeeze in. Don't be like that. Prove with your ability, right? All of you are extremely able. You don't know your own strengths, right? Don't have any disregard for yourself, your abilities. Okay, do not doubt yourself. Just put effort. That's all. Solid, concrete efforts, consistent efforts. You do that, anything you want you will get. Forget job. This is too simple, too silly. Everybody will get a job. You know what you should go into? You should get into a place where whatever you want, you should be able to get. Correct, no? As a kid, did you ever think, have you ever seen small kids thinking that they can't get something? Why? What happens? Why does that impression fade away? Reality slaps us one tight slap. Correct, no? That's wrong. We slap ourselves. That's the problem. It is all, the entire existence, entire life as it occurs, you know where it is? Where does life occur? Outside. It's inside. In our beja. How does life occur? Is in our mind. It doesn't occur outside. There is no life outside. Life is only inside. You are seeing me now. Are you sure you are seeing me? You know how you are seeing me? You know how it works? You are seeing an inverted image of me inside of your brain by the reflection of some light in your eye. Correct? It is the brain which is ultafying that and putting it color, meaning, height, weight, impression, everything. Your brain makes the life that you are living. This is the best and the worst part of life. Why is it the best part? Is you are in control. You can change anything you want. However life appears to you today, you can change it. You might be in bad situation, you can change it. You might be in super good situation, you can keep it. You can change anything. Because who is the master of your life? Where does it occur? Is in your brain. Your complete control. Don't fix bad things on yourself. Don't create impressions in your mind. I am not good enough, I am not worthy enough, I am not capable, I don't have this ability, I don't have this intelligence, I cannot solve this problem. These are all death sentences put by ourselves on ourselves, which is stupidity. You can do anything you want. Anything. Literally. You just have to put your mind to it. The moment you say, I want this, finish, automatically actions come into place. You'll start working towards it. That's it. Don't think too much. Don't associate too much. We are all moody people. Emotion. Right? One day ಎದ್ದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಏನು ಖುಷಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಏನು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಸಕ್ಸಸ್ಫುಲ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಡೇ ವೇಕಪ್, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಿದ್ದೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಯಾಕೆ ಮೂಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. What is this mood? Somebody comes and inserts mood as injection. Mood is self-created. It is bullshit. It is nothing but yesterday's influence and today. Do you know mood comes only from past? Mood doesn't come from future. ನಾಳೆ ನಾನು ಖುಷಿಯಾಗಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ಅವಾಗ you think that's how it works? No, it's not like that. Yesterday something bad happened, today you are in full mood off. When did it happen? Is yesterday over. Story gone. Understand, you are living towards a better future. Don't let yesterday affect you negatively today. Let yesterday affect you positively today. You went to an interview, you did not answer some questions, learn from your mistake. I have one fellow, I sent him to 7 companies so far. Alright? All 7 companies, you go to last one, Dumki. He has biggest problem. Sir, full confidence is shattered. Right? 7 companies have gone. All 7 have gone to HR round. And in HR I am failing. I said, Muthal, this is the best thing about you. I have so many people who are not even clearing first round. What do I tell to them? The best thing about you is you are going to the last round, which means the fix that you need to do in yourself is very small. Fix that, you will get it. No, this guy has gone into depression now. 3 months, no interviews. You will not go. Company call ಮಾಡ್ತಾರ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ರೀ ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ನಾನು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ರೌಂಡಲ್ಲಿ ಫೇಲ್ ಆಗ್ತೀನಲ್ಲ ಕಳಿಸ್ತೀರಾ ನೀವು ಚಾನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಹುಷಾರು ತಪ್ಪುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಿಡಿಂಗ್. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೌ ವಿ ವರ್ಕ್. Stupidity. This is plain stupidity. Right? You fix these things, everything will come behind you, guys. Anything and everything you want, you will come behind you. Right? Do not let your past, yesterday, negatively affect your present. You cannot afford it. It's too costly. Because as I told you, if you don't take a proper action today, you are foregoing a very big future for yourself. And the one thing we all want is a good future. Is it not? So make sure your today is proper. If your today is proper, you get a fantastic future. If your today is improper, fix it. There is something going wrong. And it is mostly in the brain. Is that clear? So, sorry for going elsewhere, but I think if you can fix your mind, guys, you guys are like flowers. You don't see that. 10 years later, you will look down on yourself and see, wow, I was so ripe. I mean, I was so, as they say, moldable to anything. And I never utilized the time, the space that was given to me. You'll feel that. Don't feel it. Don't feel it. Use the time right now. You should, you're going to blossom. Imagine we are all just coming out now from engineering, this, that. As it is, if you have sotampatta flowers and all the petals are broken and all the things are this one. I mean, who has done it? We have done it. Stupidity. Correct yourself. Correct your mind. That's all. Okay? Put your projects like this. Then what do you have? Personal details. Personal details. So in personal details, what and all will you have? Full name. Then father's name. Why not mother's name?
Matriculation certificate.
Huh? What man?
Matriculation certificate we have father's name.
So you want to put in your resume also your father's name.
So that they can verify the right person.
Father, same father. Huh? By mistake, none father, nin father same agodre. I'll tell you why. What he's telling is perfectly correct. That is why we put it. But you know how it came there? British Kala. British system. 110 years ago somebody invented this. That is, man was the head of the house. So they wanted to always know a person belonged to which family, who was the head, so that they can do whatever they can do. From there it has come copy paste. We are Indians are very good, na? Our everything is copy paste of British. And British are fools. Right? You can't imagine how foolish Britishers are. Even today in Britain, there is we are having metro now, right? There they call it the tube. Very nice tube and all that, right? There, a two-way ticket going and coming is cheaper than a 2 ticket. Do you know that? There is a particular station where going to only one direction is more expensive than going to and coming back. I am not at all kidding. So what do people do? Nobody takes to and fro. A person wants to go only to, he takes to and fro. Nobody takes only to. Everybody takes to and fro. Why? Don't tell a question. No, these people who buy are smart. But if you go and ask the tube people, yakri ingide inta uchirtara? Don't question. Legacy. 200 years ago it was like this. Now muthak hogala. This is also that. Father's name. Why father? Who wants father's name? Is anybody going to check this father's name? You put it. If you have Vijay Mallya, put it. Otherwise it's waste, yaar. Total waste of space. Anything that is not important in your resume, take it out. Again, this is all my personal opinion. If you want it, you can keep it. But I think it is unnecessarily, totally devoid of any importance. You put your name, okay, full name, something. Then, date of birth. Thank you, man. Passport number. One thing you should certainly not put. Right? Don't ever put passport number, license number. It is very personal, private information about you. For all you know, your resume you put to naukri.com and some terrorist is downloading your passport, you have forged ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. He downloads your resume. Oh, passport number, photo. Oh, come on, stamp. Tomorrow somebody does some dakaiti somewhere and they say, oh, ಈ passport number ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಯಾರ್ರಿ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬರ್ರಿ. And they will pull you out and take you to station. These things happen. I'll tell you one day I bought a bike. I told you about my bike being stolen, no? No, I did not. Okay, that's another story. So I bought a bike some long years ago. Okay, my dad bought me a bike. I was very happy and top of the world, right? Amazing Yamaha bike and all that. I bought it and I started driving it. 6 months down the line, I get a notice paper. Right? First of all, I was some 19-year-old guy or 20-year-old guy, right? And I get a notice paper. Shri Vikram Shastri must come to court on this day. Hard damar, right? First of all, how do other people know my name? Shri Vikram Shastri and all that. And then what it said, further go on to said, is this Dasappa and that Bokappa, some name was there, right? Claim that this person has hit them, it has caused them injury, they have had hospitalization, this one, and they have sued. I'm not kidding, this is honest truth. 2 people sued me. Right? I got a notice call. Like full dagga, digga, dhoga. I'm thinking, and that was 6 months ago, some accident it was happened, it seems. My bike, everything was proper. My blue color bike, number was perfect. And it seems my bike took part in an accident which caused grievous injury to that person. I felt sorry, ayyo, papa, yena. Then I started thinking, yaragappa odbutte nanu. And to my knowledge, it was not there. I was really scared. And I asked my dad. And my dad was like, okay, napka madkolo, yaragaru odbuttu odabudidya, right? And they put our water. Then we hired a lawyer and then he said, no, I have not done anything. Then they checked all the records. You know what had happened? The company from where I bought the bike, right? They had delayed with giving me the bike by 10 days. What had happened was, after the registration number was given to the bike, the person who was the cleaner or whoever, drives the bike, like hoochers in the company, he had gone and rammed one guy. And he had took off. And that guy really had problems. I mean, it was a very major accident. My bike's front and all was broken. But what did these guys tell me? They told me color is not there, this is not there. They took 10 days to repair the bike and gave me a accident involved bike. But then since registration number was there, who was it registered under? Was my name. Then we caught the culprit. All stupid things happen, you don't know. You understand that? Then I was like, abba, yargo odadilwala saku. Right? So you never know, all kinds of stupid things happen. Don't give passport number, man. Don't ever give passport number, PAN number, license number. You say if you want passport, available. Enough. Nobody wants to know your number. Okay? Very personal information. Then what else? Everybody has marital status, I don't know why. Single. HR. Single. Address. Father name. Illa match madko. Match. Right? No caste. Some people have caste, subcaste. You don't have any of that. Nobody cares. All right? No. The beauty of the IT industry is that it is not biased towards anybody. Right? That's the best. I'm telling you guys, we are living in the best time. 20 years ago, getting a job was not as easy, even if you had the ability. Today, all you need is ability, which is what we are in control of. That's it. If you are able, you get a job. Amazing time to live in, right? And there is so much time, so many things we can do. Anyway, what else you have? Huh? Mailing address. If you want your address, you put it here. Okay, I would say useless, but put it, no problem. If you want some mailing address, by mistake somebody sends a mail and says, come to this interview, a post mail. Correct, no? Who will say post mail? So anybody will send a post. Come day after tomorrow to interview. That will reach after 3 days. But anyway, you put it. Everybody puts it, you can put it. What else? Nationality, Indian, whatever. If you have different, it will make sense, I think. Put it. Languages, no. Thank you. Please put that. The one thing that is important here is your date of birth and languages, no. That's it. Languages, no. It speaks a lot about you. And the more languages you know is directly proportional to your learning curve. Do you know that? Why do you think Indians are better in the world? Only for this reason. Indians are better in the world when compared to anybody else. They are more smarter is only because we have one mother's tongue, one pakkad mane tongue, one state tongue, one national tongue, and one English tongue, right? And one school tongue also sometimes. Correct, no? We have some 4 tongues, 5 tongues, all of us. That is why we are so good. That's it. You think if we have a class for Americans and teach Java, they will learn anything in 3 months? They will learn nothing at all. Because their learning curve is very slow. Your languages known simply affects your learning ability, right? That's why they say before 6 years, if any kid knows 6 languages, he's going to become a rock star. That's it. Because his learning curve is going to be so huge that he can amass anything. He can learn anything, right? So if you know 4 or 5 languages, mention that. Important. Okay, anything else I missed out? Personal details? Hobbies will come. Huh? Hobbies you can put, yeah. First. Male or female, not important. Don't put gender. Anyway, you can make out by the name. But today's life you can't say. Right? Some name will be there for both. And I've had many troubling situations. Many situations where I think he is a she and she is a he. Right? And even after talking I have thought, he is a she and she is a he. Someday else I'll tell you story. You don't need to put gender, not useful. Okay, but hobbies. Put hobbies. Hobbies is important. Again, hobbies should be specific. Don't simply say movie watching, listening to songs. Anybody does not like listening to songs? Be specific. Watching movie means be very specific. Watch third rate horror movie. No problem. Mention it. Right? Or watch only this kind of movie. Some director name you give. Right? Be specific. That again attracts positive attention towards yourself. Okay? Don't put too many things. Just put 2 or 3. That's more than enough. If you don't have a hobby, please create one. Okay? A person without a hobby is dead person. Okay? You have to have a hobby. You have to do something else. Because otherwise what will happen, I'll tell you, after you start working, you're going to go mad. Because the working environment is so complex and so troublesome and so stressful that you need something to do where you put yourself, your whole self into and where you enjoy doing things. Okay? So definitely inculcate a hobby, whatever you want. Now is the time. Like walking, you like walking, walk. But don't walk same road every day. At least go different places, walk, see other things. If you like reading, start reading. Read novels, read books, doesn't matter. If you like blogging, blog. If you like reading blog, read blogs. Inculcate some hobby which you do regularly on a daily basis. Daily or frequent basis. Weekly twice, weekly thrice. Anything. Gymming, do gymming. Running. But do something. Don't give up this is your private life. You have to have a private part of your life. Alright? We are all like rented by everybody. Right? Father rent, mother rent, wife rent, husband rent, this rent, that rent. We rent ourselves to everybody that we don't find time to spend on our own. So inculcate some hobby and spend some time. Okay, anything else we have missed out? Is it all? So we have covered training, certification, very important. I am certified. Alright? Do SCJP. It is going to give a lot of big fillip for your resume. Especially if you are not computer science, especially if your aggregate is less. If you do SCJP, then immediately your profile will look good. You will get a lot of calls. If you are in a place where you are not getting a lot of calls, you will get a lot of calls. Is that clear? Do SCJP. Anything you are facing as a problem, let me know. Now, only one more thing. I would strongly recommend this. Yeah, first thing is, after you do your resume, build your resume, make it changes, whatever, right? Please run the free tools Microsoft Word gives you called spell check and grammar check. Alright, it is free. In fact, it is auto running and many times it will underline with red. Look at that and change it. You cannot afford, it's very costly guys. It's very costly to have mistakes in your resume. Alright. If you cannot manage to build a proper resume for yourself, how can you manage to write code, to build software that is going to affect millions of lives? It's a very simple extrapolated way of thinking. Please make sure there is absolutely no mistake in your resume. Okay, no grammatical mistakes, no spelling mistakes. That's one. Second, verify your structure. Don't use your structure should be proper. Whatever structure you use is up to you, but the structure should be proper. The spaces should be the alignment should be perfect. All the headings should be in one line. You can't have unku dunku stuff. Disco dancing, suddenly start one paragraph from here, suddenly in between bigger font, somewhere smaller font, and many people use bold. Use bold, everywhere bold. If at all you use bold, it should be for 1 word or 2 words in your resume. Everything is bold. Bold is there as a kadame. I've seen just yesterday I saw. Right? All bold, full kannu thapa kapala kuditaru. Right? Then all you want to do is see the unbold stuff. Really? It should not be like that. Try not to bold anything. Bold, you have headings in some format, that's more than enough, right? Try to remove all unwanted stuff. Why would you need to bold stuff? Is when you have too much of content and you want to bring light into something, into importance to something. Don't have too much of stuff at all. That is why in US, a resume should be only one page. One page means what? One side, one page. If you have 10 years experience, two sides. 10 years of experience, two sides. Imagine, if you have worked for 10 years and you have to manage to put the best about what you have done and learnt in 10 years in two sides, how much of effort you would have put in building the resume? And that speaks the best about you. That's the knowledge, and that's the logic. Is that clear? Have a short resume. Keep on cutting. Don't leave spaces. And I see one more thing. At the end of resume, some people would have left, some 3 pages gaps, empty pages for notes for HR. ಇನ್ಯಾರು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋದಾರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ. What is that extra 3 pages? Please remove that. Oh, I forgot most important stuff. What do you have at the end? Declaration. And there are some sentences and signature. Correct, no? What is the purpose of this declaration? Please enlighten me. You are saying, ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ಯ, ಏನನ್ನು ಡೌಟ್ ಪಡಬೇಡಿ, ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ಯ. and who is telling ನಾ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರೋದೆಲ್ಲ ಸತ್ಯ? ನಾನೇ. You think there is any sense in this declaration block? You think if you don't put this, HR will think mostly it's ಸುಳ್ಳು. ನಾನು ಹೇಳಿಲ್ವಲ್ಲ declaration. Okay, this come from British ಕಾಲ. Please remove this. Waste of space. And signature, where you never sign. Have you signed? Ever in your resume? First of all, it's a e-document. Where do you sign there? You cannot sign. Remove that. It's a waste. Everybody knows that resume is a legal document, in the sense that what is truly of you is what you have put there. It's an assumption, right? So you don't need to certify that. And another thing, personal details, references. Some people put references. This Mr. Holla, bracket, Mr. ABCD, bracket. You think somebody knows you, which is why you should get the job? It's a waste. Don't put references. If a company wants references, they will ask you. You understand? It's a need to know basis only. Everybody knows some people, yeah? Big deal. That does not speak anything of us. Don't put references. Waste of space. Declaration, throw it out. This is the worst. There is a tight competition between declaration and objective. Naan beda, neen worsta. Right? And don't know, depends. One resume, one gelate. And here there is spelling mistake also here. Declaration. I certify with a mistake. Right? What are you certifying? So please remove this. Total waste of space and energy. Okay? Yes. Now coming to one important thing. That is, so you will run your grammar check, spell check. Okay? After that, please get your resume verified by giving it to people. Give it to 2 or 3 people in your life. First give it to your friend. Nodappa odu. What do you think? Give it see, because when we build our resume, we think only in one way. We don't see so many things. Hopefully, I told you some things that you have not seen. Have you? Did I tell you some things at least? So like this, everybody will tell something to you. Everybody has their own opinion. You understand? So get their opinion. Need not be that you have to work on it. You need not follow everything I have said. If you think something is better, please retain it. Absolutely your wish. It's your resume. Understand that. No need to follow anybody's guidance. Take everybody's inputs. You come up with the best. Is that clear? But give it to 2-3 people. First give it to your friends. Then you give it to some your uncle, auntie who is there in industry. Need not be in software. Could be in elsewhere. Give it to them. Do you understand what I am talking about? Let them read. Let them give you feedback. Based on which you make corrections. Is that clear? Very important. Get your resume validated. Okay? And don't have the same resume for every company. Meaning, for majority of software companies, Java background, it's alright. But if you know you're applying for a job which calls for a different profile, change it. Your profile should suit the opening that you are applying to. Is that clear? Very good. Yes, I would strongly recommend, in case you are not already into it, to start blogging. How many of you blog? It's okay, man. You can if you blog, no? If you blog, you lift your hand. You are blogging? That's good. Anybody else is blogging? If you are not blogging, start blogging. Not bugging. Blogging. What is blog? Huh? Personal opinions, articles, right? It is nothing but an article. Blog means writing articles. Alright? Inculcate the habit today. Alright? Why you should blog? First of all, what is blog? Let me tell you that. You are traditionally, how was information consumed by people? Through, even now we use it. Through what? If you want to know what happened in US, like yesterday, what happened in Korea? Someone, Nyang Ging Gong Gong Ping Gong died in some train. How did we get to know? Newspaper. Correct, no? Newspaper was a traditional way of passing information. And you hear from somebody. These were the two ways, right? 1:1 or newspaper 1:many. But the problem with newspaper, which is why they are dying, by the way, in US last year alone 50 newspapers have closed. They were active from hundreds of years, 100 years. Ever since printing technology came, 150 years they were active. 50 newspapers have closed down, not one or two. Why? Because in a newspaper, the direction of information is from one to many. Only one direction. If you want to oogie somebody, this is the best article or this is the best article, can you do it? Write on paper, best article maga. No, it doesn't go to him, right? Very difficult to communicate back to the person who creates the article, which is why it sucks. Which is why our e-space, our internet has taken over the world in the news. It is the best thing about blogging is twofold. Even if you are interested in writing an article earlier, you have to become a journalist. 5 years of studies. You are an engineer. All you want to do is write something. Nobody will take your thing. You have to become 5 years journalist, fail, then mask up, and then get to write one article. And they will also tell you what article you have to write. How stupid is that? That is why articles suck. Information in newspapers suck because of this. It is never deep. So which is why blogging has really taken over the world. In 2000 is just 11 years ago. In 2000 there were not even 30 bloggers. 30 bloggers, that's it. Not even anything. Nobody read blogs. Today every company has a blog. Every person, whoever reads online has a blog. You should blog. Why? Because one, everybody can blog. You don't need any credentials. Anybody can blog. You don't need to earn any degree. Second, because anybody and everybody can blog, you get to know everything that is happening. Because everybody is somewhere or the other. They are witnessing something or the other. They are thinking something or the other. Which is why everybody's information is coming online. And you have the ability to Google it out and go through other people's thoughts, other people's opinion very quickly. Very, very quickly. When Michael Jackson died, you know, who were the first on the scene? Were not your cameramen, not your newspaper people. It traveled, the news traveled the entire world in a span of 10 minutes. 10 minutes, can you imagine this? Earlier, volcano happens, one country also mulgo face, people did not get to know in the world. Today, in matter of minutes, have you seen that ad by Apple? Ad by Twitter. The earthquake ad. No? Phenomenal ad. There is a person who is drinking coffee, right? And he is drinking coffee and he is keeping it on the table. And he gets a message. He looks at the message and he takes the phone, takes the coffee, holds like this. You say, "Yen message?" Then the earth will shake. Dag, 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 dag. He is reading something. He is reading some newspaper or something like that. After that, he will keep it back. The message is, tweets travel faster than earthquake. Somebody tweeted, earthquake happening, this fellow got to know already, he lifted his cup. This is literally true. Literally true. News travels faster on Twitter than anything else in the world today. No TV, no news, no newspaper. And that's the power of the online media. I'll talk to you about Twitter and Facebook and all later, but please create a blog. When you blog means go to blogger.com, go to wordpress.com or go to tumblr.com, tumblr.com. Wherever you go, create a blog. The beauty of blogs is, one, you can be anonymous. You don't need to leave your name. You can write anything you want. Anything you want, you can write. Please write. Anything you want. Write about cooking if you want. Write about sleeping. Wasting time. One blog. I'm not kidding. You know why? Because you are not writing for others. Anything you write only impacts you positively. That's all. Because majority of the time that you will be spending in your work is going to be in communication, either talking or writing mails or reading mails. You need to become good at communication skills, right? So one of the things that will really help you to put thoughts forward is blogging. Because if you know that people are going to read this, the way you structure your sentences is going to become different. The way you start thinking about things is going to become different. And it is going to help you a lot in putting thoughts in a structured manner. Please blog anything you want. Watch cricket, blog on it. Like something, blog on it. Doesn't matter. Nobody reads it, okay. But for all you know what will happen? There's another batch fellow. He blogs. Huh? He's getting 40,000 hits per month. 40,000 people are reading his new blog site. Now suddenly he has alternate source of income. He's getting money from Google. People are calling him for becoming a professional blogger. All these things are possible. Yes or no? If it wouldn't even be possible, if you don't even try this out. Try blogging. For all you know, one Japanese fellow will come and say, your blog helped me not commit suicide. You never know. Then you have saved one life by writing one piece of blog. Worst is what? Nobody says anything. That's okay. At least you earned your communication skills. Start blogging. Very important. Blog. Once or twice a week you blog. That's enough. Not too much. Once or twice a week you blog. And the beauty about blogs is it is two-way communication. That's why they are so famous. Anybody who reads a blog can leave a comment. That's the best part. So everybody's opinion comes together. Read blogs. If you are not reading blogs, read blogs. If you are not going through TechMeme on a daily basis, you are missing out everything that's happening around you. TechMeme.com. It's only technology, right? It's a meme of technology. They curate the best blogs of technology on a daily basis. You want to know everything that's happening in technology, just go here. Once a day, that's enough. Read it for 5 minutes, like how you read newspaper. You will get to know everything that's happening. This will help you so much. In a matter of months, you will know everything about the entire world, where it is headed. Tomorrow, if you get a job, iPhone job, Android job, or Java job, some .NET job, or Java Android job, some C production job, bigger company, smaller company, which one should you choose? Depends on how much you know, which has better future. How will you know this? You have to be knowledgeable. How are you going to be knowledgeable? How do you know what is the future of Android? How do you know how many companies are using? How many Android phones are being sold on a daily basis? How many applications are being built? Everything you should know. How will you know it? Just go through this. That's it. Daily, skim it. That's enough. No need to spend too much time. Over a period of time, it will really grow on you and you will love technology. And you will become so good at it that people will come and say, and you will start getting a kick out of it. Anything you get a kick off, you know what happens? You become really good at it. You become really good at it. The only thing you need to learn is how to give yourself a kick in the thing that you want. If you can get a kick of programming, right? I have to hold you back. Program madbada maga. Tumba martidiya, madbada. Correct, no? If you get a kick of it, then you would be doing only that and nothing else. The aim in life is very simple. Aspire very big. And whatever you aspire, enable that to give you a kick out of it. That's it. You just do this, nothing is unachievable. Anything you will get. Matter of time. Anyway, so blog, and why I say blog is you can mention your blog in your personal details. Okay, and coming back to this this part, right? You mention your logo, as I said. The other thing you can mention is your LinkedIn profile. If you are not on LinkedIn, please become a member on LinkedIn. Mention that is the professional social networking site that is there, professional networking site. Please become a member of LinkedIn. Link to all the people you know, and over a period of time, this makes a little more sense when you get experience, but still start right now, okay? And mention a LinkedIn there. The advantage is this, that gives you a clean URL to your name. www.linkedin.com/Vikram Shastri means me, that's all. There's nobody else. And anything, when you go to google.com and say Vikram Shastri, you will get my name there. That's the first thing that will come. So many HRs go and do this. It's not being actively done here, but as you get a little more experience, people go and do this. They want to see what you have tweeted. They want to see where you have written blog, where you have written comment. So they do a Google search of you. If you are on LinkedIn, that is the first thing that comes. Please be on LinkedIn. Okay, it's very important. and keep verifying it. So by the end of the course, we will discuss about what should be your social life online life. What are the things that you need to take care of, and how is it going to impact you going ahead? Okay, we'll discuss about that later. Please do have a LinkedIn profile. Mention that there if you don't have anything else. I think more or less I have told everything that I thought of. As I said, get your resume verified. Please get it verified by 3-4 people, and that will really help you. Remove all mistakes. Pay attention to details, and that should be more than enough. Okay, update your resume and please upload it in the portal. Okay, because Abiba is coming next week. All right, they are coming and it is open for all. Anybody who wants to take the test, you can take it up. All right, so there is no criteria, there is no percentage, no bias on branch. Not all companies are like this. All right, so they will give a fair chance to everybody. So use this as an opportunity. You don't need one more. Use this as the opportunity to do your best. Is it clear? There will be other companies who will come, but don't bank on it. Give your best to this shot. All right. Anything else that you are doing, I don't know what you are doing, what you are not doing. Pull up your socks and get to work. The only thing that will save you is work. So work, and work. Okay. We will discuss just like this on interviews. Okay. Some of the things that I see as people doing wrongly, or my experience, whatever I've had, I will share it with you. And whatever makes sense, take it. Is that clear? And we shall meet tomorrow, 11 o'clock, and I'll be starting off with J2EE. Okay? Thank you very much. See you tomorrow morning. Bye-bye.